Bird of Prey 5. El Karuga.
Qapla!
I'm going to take this opportunity, however, to suggest that we all hail Karuga. That's all I'm saying.
Forgive me, Doctor. I'm receiving a number of distress calls. I don't doubt it.
Y'all remember to tip your waitresses. Have a mighty fine night.
If you come in peace, surrender or be destroyed. If you're here to make war, we surrender.
Both good. The important thing is I'm meeting new people.
When the appointed hour arrives, the Marauders will deactivate their cloaking devices and begin transporting Klingon shock troops directly to the landing zone.
Landing zone? Where? Tell me.
Why not? Your feeble weapons will be useless against us. We will kill all your males and take your females to mate with.
All right. Now the Federation's taking over, whether you like it or not. You people, you've been running this planet like a piecework factory. From now on, it's going to be under one roof. You're going to run it like a business. And that means you're going to make a profit.
Look at these 3 words written larger than the rest, with a special pride never written before or since. Tall words, proudly saying, "We the people."
Hi, I'm Nicole DeBoer. I played Lieutenant Ezri Dax on DS9, and I welcome you to Bird of Prey 5 channel. Hail Karuga.
Hello world, it's Bird of Prey 5. Qapla. Welcome to Dear Bop and Wordle for Monday. Oh God. Monday, March 27th. 2023. Now I'm still not doing so great, guys. But Mama Pray knows I always seem to feel better when I stream, and I guess I do. So, and I really felt bad about leaving what appeared to be some halfway serious Dear Bops on Friday. So I wanted to make sure we did get a chance to get to them and finish them off. And LDG has been reminding me all day that I need to do Wordle because he really wants me to do it. He can't tell me what it is, obviously. I don't want any hints, but he has been especially anxious to discuss the Wordle clue. So, not clue, Wordle word. Though I will wait a bit before we do Wordle. So we got a few more people here. We'll now I know I wasn't going to do a full BedLife, and I'm not. But I just happened to look at the day, the National Calendar Day. And if it was any other day but National Joe Day, I probably wouldn't have even come here. But it is today, is National Joe Day. If your name is Joe, today is your second birthday. So I know Mama Pray didn't get me. Until 15 minutes ago, I had no idea. That today was my second birthday. Now I hope they don't try to tell me that I'm 88 years old because I've been having 2 birthdays all my entire life. But we'll take it. National Joe Day, and I just happened to keep scrolling, and also on National Joe Day, Viagra Day. It is also Viagra Day, as well as World Theater Day and some other days we don't give a crap about. Scribble Day, but Joe Day and Viagra Day. Anyway, we'll call it Dear Bop Day. So let's get ready for some Dear Bops. Oh, let me get to the chat. First. Say hello to everybody. Captain MKG says, "Hey, Bird, I just wanted to double check. Were you planning on getting City Skylines 2 when it comes out?" I do plan on getting City Skylines 2. I don't know if I'm going to get it the day it comes out. I probably will. I mean, God willing, as long as I'm healthy and healthy enough, I will probably get it. But realistically, will I be playing it on stream? I don't know. I mean, I don't think City Skylines 2 is going to live up to the hype. I don't think it possibly can. I think it's going to be it's going to be considered a pretty poor game for years. Maybe after 2 or 3 years, it'll catch up to where people think it should have been when it finally gets released, whenever that will be. But that said, I probably will give them my money and let them make the game better as time goes on. But to be honest, I don't foresee it being that big of a deal when it gets released. But we'll see. Richie Poole says, Qapla, Richie, Dear Bop. And he says, the big question is, which will Bird do first, Dear Bop or Wordle? Well, we're going to start with Dear Bops. At some point, we might do Wordle and then come back to Dear Bops, or we might do all the Dear Bops first. It really depends how fast the Dear Bops go. Jedi Bill says, hello, Birdo Pray 5, Qapla, brother warrior, and hail, Karoga. Hail to you, Jedi Bill. Thank you. And Gorilla's Random Thoughts says, Qapla, Bird, Qapla, Gorilla. Richie Poole says, back to work for me. I will catch this later on my drive home. Qapla. Qapla, Richie. Resolute Germ says, hello, all. Hello, Resolute. 47 Yorktown says, hello, young sir. Hello, 47. John DeMarco says, greetings all. Greetings, John. Yvette says, good evening, Bird. And everyone, good evening to the lovely Yvette. Low Specs Linux Laptop says, Qapla, Qapla. And LDG says 2x. 2x. Oh, reminder to set your YouTube speed to 2x. For I don't know why. A couple of seconds to catch up. Jedi Bill says hello to LDG. Yvette says hey also. Captain Fandom Nerd says hello. Hello, Captain. Dan Ben says hi. Hello, Dan. By the way, guys, I got a very special piece of mail in the mail today. Actually, 2 copies. So nice, they sent it twice. Absolutely for real. I got a ticket, a summons, a fine for my garbage from the New York City Department of Sanitation. They say a sanitation officer sworn under the penalty of perjury that at 6:30 p.m. or so last Tuesday, he swore he saw corrugated cardboard left out for recycling pickup that was not bundled properly with twine or tape. Now, Mom O'Bray, knowing the law and the rules, bundled it with twine and or tape. But a day later, when they finally came to pick some up,
with Starfleet Command, Captain.
it had maybe become unbundled. I mean, I don't think this guy is a liar. I'm not saying he's a liar. I'm just saying we know there's a history of people going through the garbage here and doing God knows what. Who knows what could have happened after over 24 hours with the garbage being out because it wasn't picked up. Anyway, so not only did I get one copy, I got 2 copies because I'm in the system twice, because the only difference, the name, the address, everything's the exact same, except in one copy, it had the extra 4 digits to my zip code, and in the other, it did not. So I'm in the system twice. So they had to inform me twice for the same summons. So New York City spent over 50 cents on snail mail to send 2 copies of a paper summons. Then, even though it said that you can fight this online, when I went to the address to fight it online, I was going to send them a copy of the video of the guy going through my garbage and just saying, listen, we've got a real, I'm not saying you're lying. I'm just saying there's a real problem here of people going through the garbage. But alas, once you get to that address, it says, well, not everybody can fight it online. You can only fight it online if there's a specific number on your ticket. And of course, my ticket didn't have that number. So it was just easier to pay the $25 and be done with it than fight it via snail mail or whatever the hell they wanted. So that was, thank you. Thank you, New York City. Dan Ben says hi. Hello again, Dan Ben. Gorilla's Random Thought says use titty for the first word. Gorilla, it's not till I announce that I'm looking for a word. And by the way, John Araki with a $1 super chat. Thank you so much, John Araki. I apologize. It was 3 minutes ago. Thank you for that super chat. Thomas Potts says vote bird off. No, I was playing a game on the Real Review 3000 last night. It's a Jackbox volume 9 or whatever. Deej had it, and it was, you had to vote somebody off. It was like Big Brother. And Thomas Potts, not even in the main game, just in the audience, consistently voted to have me voted off or voted out of the house. Thank you, Thomas. That's sarcasm. Dan Van says, I keep getting adverts on YouTube, but then I notice it's not an advert, but an actual video, and I had to close it and go back to the video I was watching. Yeah, for some reason, YouTube, even though if you pause or stop or close a video and then go back to YouTube, for some reason they think they're doing you a service by putting that video in the corner and playing it again. And I'm like, no, thank you. If I wanted to watch it, I would have kept watching it. It is a bit annoying. Dan's mom's name is Joanna. Oh, that is a very nice name. Jedi Bill says hello to Thomas. Deej, speaking of the devil, says afternoon, all afternoon, Deej. Josh Reed says, remember to put in your Dear Bops over at birdofprey5.com/Dear Bop dash whatever. Stanley says, sorry, what game? Governor of Poker 3. We were talking about City Skylines 2. But I do play Governor of Poker 3. Although, to be honest, they made a change a few days ago. And I don't know how much longer I'll be playing for. They really changed up what you need to do to get your numbers in, to get your prizes for the day and for the week, and your team points, and it all kind of sucks now. So I think my time playing Governor of Poker is coming to a close. I don't know. Probably just not going to be any fun within a couple of weeks at this point, unless they change things back. But Governor Poker 3, the link, if you guys want to play the game, you can use my link. You'll be friends with me. Plus, I'll get affiliate credit, which means I get free tokens, and you get free tokens for using my link. Is in the description. John Street says, Bird of Prey, it seems nowadays Paradox uses DLCs to fix the game. First, add fun things to a game. True. Although some of the things they add could be fun, but it's like everything they've added to City Skylines over the last 2.5 years, I could have done without. The last update I really liked was the parks update. Everything since then, it's just nonsense. Leaf Blowers of NY with a $10 donation. And Kissing Dax says, hail, Karoga. We will be visiting you soon and often. They've already started for the season. And thank you so much, Leaf Blowers of New York, for that $10 donation. That almost pays half the sanitation fine. I appreciate it. Yeah. Kronos is in the chat. Qapla, Kronos. And thank you again, John Araki. Kronos says, how are you feeling today? Honestly, Kronos, not so great, man. Not so great. So it's supposed to be a short stream. LDG says, yo. John Araki, hashtag leave birds garbage. John Araki says, Kronos was right. Kronos says, I miss the old days of Bird City Skylines. Maybe I'll do City Skylines this week. I don't know if I'm feeling how I'm feeling. We'll see. Stan Lee is yelling Litterbug. Kronos says, hey to Mama Pray. Thomas Potts is hashtag Blockbird up. Gorilla says, tell him to go F himself. The city inspector. Kronos says, raccoons in the garbage. It's trouble. It's not raccoons. John Araki says, the official sandwich of Karoga is the Sloppy Joe. Josh Street says, it's a mini bird rant. Hakeem says, hello all. Hello, Hakeem. Resolute says, he cut the twine or the tape himself to frame you. Maybe. Stanley says, there was crazy wind that day. We had severe wind in the Northeast a couple of nights ago. Probably not, because Mama Frey generally won't put out the cardboard if it's that windy. Josh Street says, Thomas, when did the NYPD have to invade Karoga to hashtag Lockford up? Yeah, they would. They would have to. John Araki says City Skylines 2 is greater than Picard Season 3. I'll give this, that's true. Chrono says, is this a bad bird rant? I don't, so that's your decision to make, not mine. Deej says NYC is desperate for money, so now they are faking unpackaged bundles. Yeah. Chrono says New York is asshole. I'm not going to argue. Resolute says if sending anything to the government via snail mail, they really shouldn't open it. Chrono says Germs is sending Germs' own germs in the mail. Question. Dan Ben doesn't like Big Brother, so don't watch. Me neither, Dan Ben. I've honestly never watched an episode of Big Brother. I've only gathered how it works by people talking about it and parodying it. Cody Guy says, good afternoon. Good afternoon, Cody. Chrono says, Deej is the devil? Possibly. Deej says, hashtag Deej was robbed. Chrono says, what was stolen? And Thomas Potts says, Deej's dignity. Deej says, my spot in the finals of Name That Tune last night. Oh, you lost. Sorry about that. Chrono says, oh, yeah, that I was lurking. You were playing 5D chess on a 2D board. Well done. I'm assuming he's talking to Deej. Stanley says, by the way, what's the official Wordle site? I tried playing last week, but it was a different word. It's do Google for Wordle New York Times, or I can put the link. I can put the link in. I've got it. I'll put the link. I put in the link right now. But it's newyorktimes.com/Wordle. Deej says he replaced me with Tom. Oh, poor Deej. Chrono says Moira, meow. Moira needs to be stopped. No. Did she win? Congrats to Moira. Kronos yells bingo. Josh Reed says, Bird, you need to watch Louis Rossman's take on New York taxes when you get a chance. Okay, when I get a chance. Stan Lee yells double dax. Kronos is everyone's channel. You power to heal, Bird. I feel the power. Please, I need the help, well wishes from everybody, the healing powers. I would appreciate it. Kronos was watching too much Picard, hurting your health. It might be, Kronos. It might be. Indeed says he didn't lose. He was replaced. That is terrible, Deej. Oh, that is some low down, dirty. Wow, I can't believe. Who is it, Chris? Is Chris Knight the one to blame? That is dirty, even for him. Chrono says, can I type the Wordle word? I would appreciate if you didn't until I've done. So anyway, let's get ready and start with the Dear Bops. With the Dear Bops. Okay. And Deej says, yeah, Chris booted me out of the final round and replaced me with Tom Connors. So Tom Connors comes in with his big Midnight Edge After Dark channel numbers. And Chris is like, oh, I got to take somebody out. So I'll take good old Deej. Wow. Wow. He kicked, especially, I mean, over Elihu or anyone else he could have kicked, he picked Deej. That is some dirty, dirty. Wow. That's the difference between Karoga and Chris's dungeon. Okay. I would never replace you for Tom. Okay. If Tom wanted to come on and there weren't enough spots, I would either take myself out or he'd have to wait. Anyway. Let's start with Dear Bop. Dear Bop, sorry if my message from earlier was too dark. I'll try to cheer up. Thanks. If you think messages like that shouldn't be sent, just say so, and I won't send that sort of thing. Well, honestly, I don't fully remember the message from Friday, but no, I don't think they were too dark. If they're legit, if they're real messages, if this is real stuff going on in your life, by all means, feel free to ask. It's just sometimes it's hard to know when some things are jokes and some things are not. So if you have actual real issue and it's dark, we can talk about it. We really can. Deej says the funny thing though, Tom lost to Moira. Well, I guess that's a risk you take. That's a risk you take. Dear Bop, Klingon, if you're so much better than humans, why do they run the Federation? Vulcan. So I guess the Klingon is talking to the Vulcan. And the Vulcan says, say you give human 2 warp cores. They will not run tests on one and keep the other in case something happens, like any civilized people. They will get a third, wire them together, punch a hole to another universe, fight everyone there just because, stop a plot to destroy the multiverse, punch a hole back here, and eat supper like nothing happened. And the Klingon, we withdraw our request. I mean, don't get me wrong. It was funny to say all those words, but I don't really know what any of that has to do with Star Trek. I mean, yeah, humans are special in the Star Trek universe, but I don't, maybe that's a book, because I don't recall any of those events happening in canon Trek. Dear Bop, what is this red rocket that someone put in the chat? Well, you know, in the summer, and I don't know, Good Humor is out, and they have ice pops, and they're red, white, and blue, cherry, white, and blue ice, but the red is the best part, and they're called rocket pops. sometimes instead of bomb pops. And then they're all red, and you just want to suck on that red rocket. Well, it's just so juicy and it's delicious. And you put that red rocket, and you put your tongue on it, and your lips tight, and you're sucking on it. You're moving it back and forth on your tongue just to get that delicious cherry flavoring from the red rocket pop. It's nothing like that. In fact, Google it if you have to, but it's absolutely nothing like a red cherry rocket ice pop. Dear Bop, and a link to LDG's Twitter. Because you asked for it, Birdo Frey 5 has Chiquita Banana. Sisso Prey asked for that, not me. But thank you, I guess. Deed says hashtag Bird of Prey after dark is what this is starting to sound like. Stanley says, and it just barely fits. Kronos says the tip is red. And it counts, says Kronos. Anyway. Dear Bop, hi, first time caller, long time listener. Oh my God, I miss the days of AM radio call-ins. It's all I like Rush Limbaugh. Don't get me wrong, Rush was great, but I know he was political, and half the people couldn't stand him. But like other more local, like New York City radio shows, those I used to like to listen to. And called in a couple times. And then like YouTube is just like that, except with a camera. Anyway, first time caller, long time listener. Could you play this short clip and tell me how you like it? Was looking to getting into YouTube shorts to boost things. Thanks. See, and like, you know I'm going to click on this, and it's going to be something that probably insults me. Not for a second. Not for a second do I think this is a legit clip from somebody trying to start their YouTube career. For first, they probably wouldn't know how to make a clip if they were new to YouTube. Kronos' video killed the radio star. And Stanley says Stern back in the day. Man, when I was in high school in 1996, I was a senior in high school, and Howard Stern was already considered to have been on the air too long in 1996. And then the best Howard, well, I don't say the best, the one Howard Stern show I still have recorded in full is the 9/11 show, the September 11th, 2001 episode, because all that stuff happened while he was on the air. So I just, as soon as I could, in fact, like, it was probably one of the days or weeks after 9/11, as soon as I found a copy, I downloaded it and I've had it saved ever since. history in the making, as Dad O'Fray would say. Anyway, let's click on this link. Let's play a little Dear Bop roulette. What do we got? It is a YouTube clip, so I'm not particularly worried. And it's me. Okay, so I did say I'm a guy who haven't touched a woman of the opposite sex, but it was they cut it out. They cut out the rest of the quote. It was said in a number of years, a woman of the opposite sex. Okay, maybe it's a little redundant, but it's hardly some giant, I don't know, issue. What's that called? When there's not a catastrophe, but hardly a giant, there goes the brain. Never cared for Stern, said Kronos. That's good, because I don't think he ever cared for you. I'm sure he didn't care about me either. Stanley says, yes, they were goofing about Pam Anderson just before it happened, he thinks. Stanley says, and now Howard won't leave his basement. Deed says, gotcha, blah, ha, ha. Yeah, funny, Deed. And I was the one feeling bad for you that you got kicked off of Name That Tune for Tom. Now I'm happy. I'm happy Chris kicked you off. How do you like them apples? Sean Araki says they should make foot-long rocket pops for Pride Month. And they can be every color of the rainbow. And the sign should be Taste the Rainbow. And Dear Bop, sorry. You're not sorry, Deej. You're not sorry. Dear Bop, do you have bad dreams or night terrors? Occasionally, I'll have bad dreams. I haven't had night terrors in a long time. Like 3 houses ago. Long time. Not since I was a kid. Dear Bop, a person is having a bath. They close the door. Someone knocks on the door and talks to them. Do you think the person should be 100% fine with talking when in the bath? Or do you think they should be left alone to be in the bathroom and not talk to anyone? Yeah, I guess it really depends on how important is what they're talking about. I mean, if they knock on the door to tell you, hey, do you know your phone is ringing, or somebody's here to see you, or God forbid, the house is on fire, something like that, yeah, I understand. If they knock on the door to talk to you and say, hey, what's your thoughts on investing in cryptocurrency? Or have you seen where I left my glasses? Then, well, maybe the glasses might even be a valid reason to ask, because they could be in the bathroom. But, if it's nothing that important, you could always say, I'm busy. I'll talk to you when I get out. Yeah, it's weird. I mean, if this is a problem, you should let them know ahead of time to say, hey, I'm going in the bathroom to take a bath and unwind, and I'd appreciate it if you don't bother me for 15 or 20 minutes or whatever, however long it takes you to take a bath, unless it's an emergency. It's a reasonable request, I would think. But yeah. Although, to be honest, I have a hard time understanding a adult male taking a bath. I mean, I've taken them on occasion when I could, but they were few and far between. Showers are different. And if you're singing in the shower, then nobody can accuse you of not answering them because clearly you didn't hear them. Dear Bob, have you ever seen a firefly? A firefly? Yes, quite a bit. There's lots of fireflies. I've never seen the series Firefly. What have you seen that felt like an experience? Not a firefly, I can tell you that. What I have seen that felt like an experience. I suppose the view of the Grand Canyon from the Grand Canyon, the main gate, the South Grand Canyon South main gate, that area, that's an experience for sure. Sedona, the red rocks of Sedona, just the natural beauty that is from Oak Creek, the town of Oak Creek, through Sedona, and then up the Y, and then the climb up Oak Creek Canyon to Flagstaff. That is a wonderful, that's an experience. Flying into New York City at night, that is an experience for sure. Watching the fireworks over the city, knowing every one of them was a fuck you to the government. Are we reconnected? Apparently there was a disconnection. Oh, the fireworks over the city, each one is a fuck you to the government. That's an experience. I'm not sure what else. That's I can tell you off my hand. Dear Bob, do you know the saying, I wouldn't trade that for anything? Has there been any time when you've said that? Obviously, I know the saying. I don't recall saying it myself. I mean, I wouldn't trade my family for anything, that type of stuff. Are there things I wouldn't trade? Of course. But have I particularly said that? I don't think so. Dear Bob, what are your top 10 YouTubers you recommend watching? Well, not Deej anymore. Honestly, I don't have. I don't have a top 10. Of course, I tell you guys, I love Doomcock, Friday Night Frolics. It's 6+ hours of great entertainment. It is completely different from his videos about Kathleen Kennedy and whatever else he makes videos about. He is a great entertainer, singing and jokes and voice impersonations. He does all the things I wish I could do. He does. He does really well. Everything I suck at, he does them very, very well. Then, I mean, I have times I go through channels. Lately, I've been going through the history guy. He has so many videos. Man, this guy's got hundreds and hundreds of videos. Ryan George, he's a funny guy. He's got a lot of channels. George Ryan or Ryan George? I don't remember. One of those. He's the guy who does the movie, the writing. Hey, I've got a movie for you. Rarely an inconvenience. You know, he does some funny, his funny skits, really funny skits. And then, of course, all of you guys with your channels, I check those out. Those are some of my favorite streams. Yeah, I mean, I don't have a top 10 per se. Colonel says, yet you have a top 5 nitpicks of Picard. Well, 5 was because I already had the graphic for a 5. Plus, it's Bird o' Prey 5. So I figured top 5 nitpicks just went well with my channel. Deej is unsubbing.
What's going on with Deej?
Deej is, it's a joke. It's a joke. Thomas says you can probably crash better than Doomcock. Thank you. And Gorilla's random thoughts, pitch meetings. That's it. Whatever Ryan does, pitch meetings. Pitch meetings. You gotta get off his back about that. There's a motorcycle passing. You gotta get way off my back about that. Dear Bop, strike one. Is it baseball season already? Dear Bop, any advice for how to get to sleep before 1 a.m.? Well, turn off or mute your phone. Put it on the other side of your bedroom, out of reach, so you won't be tempted to look at it. Put the TV on, but low volume. Put on a boring channel and just lay there till you go to sleep. Dee just saying, Mom, Bert is saying mean things to me. Get him.
They say mean things to Dee.
No, of course not. Arabic Saunders says Qapla, Berto Frey. Qapla, Arabic. And Sean Carter says pitch meetings are tight. If you watch pitch meetings, you would get that. Dear Bob, what do you like about Mondays? Or should I find them depressing? Honestly, not a whole lot. Not a whole lot I like about Mondays these days. Dear Bob, what is the one thing you missed from Star Trek? Okay, I need a minute before I can answer this.
Tab Cola for a beautiful drink. Tab Cola for beautiful people. Tab Cola, you're beautiful to me. Real cola tastes just 1 calorie. Tab Cola, what a beautiful drink. Tab Cola for beautiful people. Tab Cola, it's beautiful to be so good and sugar-free. Tab.
The Computer Factory wants you to get the competitive edge with the Apple rebate sale. Purchase a qualifying Apple system now and get cash back. Buy the Apple IIgs for only $549 after Apple rebate, or the Apple IIc for only $549 after rebate, or the powerful Macintosh Plus for only $1,449 after Apple rebate. Hurry in to your nearest Computer Factory store for their lowest prices of the year on Apple. Plenty of stock on hand at all Computer Factory locations.
Hey, right now, Loblaws is having a huge frozen food sale. You can get tremendous value on over 50 frozen food items, frozen vegetables, frozen meat entrees, frozen concentrated juices, ice cream. If it's frozen, you can save plenty. Don't get left out on the cold. Come on in and stock up that freezer. Loblaws frozen food sale. Another reason why more than the price is right. Does he work here?
Get that do it up feeling, do it up.
Two great names in jeans do it up in style. With an exciting fall collection of denim and corduroy jeans in a rainbow of colors, Gloria Vanderbilt by Mershani and The Gap bring you the fit that stops traffic wherever you go.
Fall into the Gap.
Have a Gloria Vanderbilt fit at The Gap.
You got a date, skin's looking great, cause Clearasil's ace. Face to face, face to face to face. See you at 8, skin's looking great, CJ's the place. Face to face.
Clearasil gives you great-looking skin, even close up. Inside, it kills bacteria to dry the pimple.
Clearasil's ace, face to face.
Outside, it soaks up all the excess oil.
Feeling first rate, cause skin's looking great, cause Clearasil's ace.
Clearasil, for skin that looks great, even close up.
Face to face, face to face to face.
Okay. We're back. We're back. Kronos' bird. You can get to sleep by counting AOCs jumping over the fence. I suppose you could. Thank you, Mama Pray. Dear Bob, what is the one thing you miss from Star Trek 60s to 2005 that is not in New Trek? Quality, good writing. Honestly, morality, like that the Federation is actually the good guy. That, they try not to kill people if they don't have to. They shoot only on stun. Shooting to kill is an absolute last resort. Things like that. Dear Bob, well, you big, aren't you? I guess so. Dear Bob, don't worry. Be happy. Dear Bob, is there anywhere in America you think shouldn't be a state? I think a lot of things shouldn't be states. Well, I mean, absolutely, the District of Columbia should never be a state. Luckily, it isn't. Would I kick out any of the existing states? I mean, honestly, no, I wouldn't. I don't think we should. But if we were to carve up the nation, I wouldn't surprise me if California and the whole West Coast decided to, not Alaska, but California, Washington, and Oregon decided to secede. Although, probably for California, Washington, Oregon, it would just be the coastal section. The center and the inland edges of the state would probably prefer to stay in the Union. Dear Bop, you're a bad boy. You see, this is a bad Dear Bop. Like the Dear Bops that say, you're big, don't worry, be happy, and you're a bad boy. Like, I don't know who sent those, but they were just a waste of my time and yours. So if you, I don't know, maybe you thought they were funny. Maybe they are funny and I'm missing it. But that's yeah. So dear LDG with a $2 super chat says hashtag Dear Bop, 2 hours later, Wordle. Okay, let's do Wordle. I already clicked on this Dear Bop. I didn't really get a chance to see it. So let's see it. And we'll finish. Then we'll do Wordle and then we'll come back. Dear Bop, can you please explain in excruciating detail how warp drive works? The question came up during a recent podcast, and I'm still waiting for the answer. Anonymous RP. I'm guessing that's Rishi Pool. So those of you who watch the Shuttle Pod podcast, the podcast with Trip Tucker and Malcolm Reed from Star Trek Enterprise, this past week, yesterday, was their stream. Well, it's a premiere. It's not a stream. They recorded it a few days earlier. But yesterday it premiered on YouTube. And for like the second or third week in a row, I believe, or maybe the second time in 3 weeks, one of my questions was featured on the show. So they say Birdo Prey 5 asks. So as Birdo Prey 5 on Twitter asks, and the person they were interviewing was the guy who played Trip Tucker. Even though he's the host of the podcast, to this week, he was also the person being interviewed. So one of my questions was, since he's the ship's engineer, I said, how does the warp drive work? So they asked him, but then somebody else in my thread on Twitter said, no, ask him, how do the toilets work? Because that was a joke on one of the Enterprise episodes about the school children wanting to know about how toilets work. And he's like, a poop joke or something like that. He was annoyed with Captain Archer. Anyway, the point was, yes, they did they did ask another question of mine. That's at least 2 in 3 weeks. So anyway, LDG wants me to do Wordle. So with that, let's take a Wordle break. So the first person to put in a 5-letter word will be the word I use to start today's Wordle. They're not sonic toilets, I don't think. Gross. Kronos, did you say gross? I assume that's the word you want. LDG says no, you pick. No penis. Kronos said gross, but I don't know if Kronos meant gross as to use. Kronos, you just have to tell me, is gross? It's yes or no. You don't get to change it. You don't get to change it to vulva. You either tell me gross. Do I use gross, or were you not putting gross? Or were you making gross to talk about the sonic toilets? So yes, no. Yes, I use gross, or no, I used to use penis. Gorilla says I put titty in before them. I'm being gypped. I told you it had to wait. And Kronos says sonic toilets do sound gross. God damn it. Okay. Okay. That's Dan Ben is yelling no. Gorilla says they put it in twice. Okay, fine, Gorilla. Titty. That's what I'm supposed to use. And it's a word. And it's got no letters. Great. Thank you, Gorilla. We can't see your screen, says LDG. What do you mean you can't see the screen? It looks like you can see the screen. God damn it. You can see the screen. Okay. Deej ripped off another. No, Deej. Here, Deej. Well, except the I's already been used. So, no. Obviously, it's not that. Yeah, Kronos Jaloja is 6 letters. Andy Garcia says Ingot. Well, there's no I. There's no I. So I'm not going to waste. I'm not going to use Ingo. Yeah, I'm kind of, I'll be honest. I'll be honest. I put titty in thinking it wasn't going to work. I put it in. I was just going to, I was thinking I was just going to put it in so Gorilla would feel better. But it was going to say that's not officially a word. So anyway, I guess I will go. All my usual words all use I. Okay. No. Train, chain, arise, Louis. They all have an I. I gotta use a word that doesn't let's just go with cloud. Fluffy cloud. CLOUD. And we've got two vowels. O and U in the wrong place. Cloud. Let's try FOUND. No, god damn it. There's no D. Found. Fount. No. There's no Y. There's no T. Goddamn. Mount. No, there's no T. And mound. No, there's no D. MOU. Mourn. MOURN. Okay. None. NU. New. So NU something O something. New socks. New sock. You know what? I'm not looking at the chat at this point. I'm sorry. Let's try some other letters. B E A K S. Beaks. Beeps. It's not a word. Wait, L? We already used L. K. Jesus. Beans. Oh, we have in it. Okay. Well, okay. Holy shit. There's 3 vowels. Okay, but we got A and N. Okay. So okay. There's an O is not We know O isn't. We O, U, O and U. O and U gotta be somewhere. O, U, A, N. This must be compelling YouTube. Uh, uh, okay. We'll try another. We'll try another chance to just get some letters. Okay, so we have an O and a U. Let's try and use them. Let's see. Um, oh, we know there's, goddamn. Piano. But we know there's no I. Is there a P? There could be a P. The only thing that's going to do is tell us if there's a P and if there's an O at the end. That's not a great word. I'd really like a word that uses maybe Fano. Fano? Is that a word? No. No. Fano. Guano. I think I hit it twice or three times. Like it will make it a word. Okay. Maybe it's two N's. Unano. Unano? Are there words that end in O? I mean, obviously. Piano ends in O. But it's not piano.
What happened? Everybody go to sleep?
No, I see the chat. It's bustling away, but I'm not looking at it. Oh, are you meaning I'm being boring? Marvel Bray is telling me I'm being boring. This is B5 Fano piano. Come on, give me a word, brain. I don't want to have to use piano. I know there's no I. I know don't just give me some other letter. PH, that doesn't work. PW, PZ, IP, IPN, no. Icano, Ahano, Agano. Arjano. Okay, all right. You know what? I'm putting in piano. Okay. So we know there's an O at the end. So then we've got, what do we have? U. So we've got, okay. Okay, if U is the first letter, that means that that's the word. If U is the first letter. So there's not Zucchino, Zuano, Zuuno, Zuano, Zoano, no, Ugano, Euhano, Eugeno, Eucano, Euzano, Uxano, Uvano, Unano. That's okay. So that means X UANO, Quino, Wano, Ioano, Oano, Aano, Fauno, Guano, 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 Guano. God damn. Okay. Guano. So close. Andy Garcia says, yep, got bird leavings. Crabs popcorn. Yay, bat poop. You took long enough. Thank you, Mr. Lundell. Well, I'm sorry. It's a lot harder doing this on stream. Oh, wow. LDG deleted something. What did JP's write? Joe, he wrote the right answer. He wrote the right answer. Bat poop. LDG says, what a shit word. Is that the hint? Is that the hint you were given? Wow, LDG was angry. No hints. No hints. He couldn't delete Mr. Lundell though. Pop the Curious says, hope you're doing well. Thank you, Pop. Wifey O'Prey says, Ratio. Oh, sorry, Andy. That probably would have been a better. Oh, ratio. That would have given me the O at the end. That would have been nice to have, for sure. Mound. Anyway. No sounds. I'm sorry, Jedi Bill. That was the sound of my brain ticking. Thomas says, next time you people should just super chat him the answer. Well, I guess that would be one way of stopping the fun. Todd Jenny says, I got guano in 3. Qapla, Todd. Jenny. And JP's with a $20 Canadian super chat says, well, you got it. I was betting you wouldn't. Ye people of little faith. I don't know when the last time I couldn't get a Wordle was. I mean, it's happened, but it's been a long time. Don't get me wrong. It can take me a long time, but if I work it out, generally, I get it. Captain Phantom Nerd with a $2 super chat says, back to Dear Bop. Absolutely, Captain. Absolutely. And thank you. So, back to Dear Bop. The Traveler says, I miss Wordle. Welcome, Traveler. Todd Jenny says, sorry I wasn't on sooner. Got some vertigo and was resting. Hope you feel better.
Captain's log, stardate 7414.1. Our best estimates place us some 4 hours from Earth.
Thomas Potts says, I had faith you would look at the chat when you got to the last chance. The Traveler says, greetings, birds, salty turds, and nerds, and uses the custom emojis. Thank you, Traveler. And John DeMarco says, it's been a long road getting to a time when Bird didn't get the word. Anyway. Dear Bop, start Wordle with ganja. Oh, son of a bitch. That obviously was somebody who knew the answer already. It is most fortunate I didn't do one more bop. That would have changed things up significantly. Son of a bitch. Yeah. Well, that's why when I usually do these, I do Wordle before Dear Bop, so it wouldn't have really made a difference. It's actually, well, I guess that was sent after I started the stream. Dear Joseph D. Okay, yeah, these are ones that started. These Dear Bops came in after it already started, so somebody knew I was doing Dear Bops first. Dear Joseph D. Harry Richard of New York Sanitation Department here. I heard you airing your grievances on your stream today, so I hope you allow me to respond to your complaint regarding receiving a ticket for improper cardboard recycling. Well, I will have you know that we actually went easy on you, as there were multiple infractions observed by our recycling specialist. Not only was the cardboard not properly wrapped, there was a gallon-sized peanut butter jar with food matter still inside. Please recall that all recycled items should not have any food in them, and your peanut butter jar was way out of code. And there was an economy-sized 440-pack Depends box that should have been included with your corrugated cardboard that had not been put unfolded in the recycling container. Your total fee could have been $512, but we decided to be nice and lower your cost ticket instead. If you have any other issues, please please feel free to give us a call at 1-800-EAT-CRAP. Harry Richards, VP of Legal for New York Sanitation Department. Yeah, that's actually exactly what I suspect would be the response, except not as friendly. Chrono says I need to cut down my salty intake. I thought he was making a real whatever comment. Dear Bob, would you like to play a game? Let's see how stupid CBS Paramount Plus is regarding Star Trek. Open Paramount Plus, click on movies, search for Star Trek Generations. I'll wait, didn't find anything. Did you? Paramount doesn't have any of the 10 Star Trek movies on Paramount Plus. What sense does that make? Yeah. Well, that's because those movies are worth money. So they are licensing them to other streaming services, exclusive deals at the moment. So they can make more money by giving the licenses to HBO or Netflix or Hulu or Amazon than having it on their own service. So that's the deal. Although I thought, and maybe it was only temporary, I thought the director's cut of the motion picture was still up, but maybe it's not anymore. John Street found a game about the early days of Karoga on Steam. Well, let's see. Workers and Resources, Soviet Republic. I'll take a look, but not really a big fan of playing Sim Soviet Russia. Dear Bob, your sanitation system seems screwed up. They fine you for not bundling cardboard, but feel free to shoot someone in the street and then take a shot next to them. Where I come from, we got a 65-gallon bin for recycling and just throw everything in there and empty it every 2 weeks. And if there is overflow out on the edge of town, there are 10 more bins for recycling. Well, it's nice to know, though. And if it was on the edge of town, it might as well be across the world for me. F the New York Trash Company. Thank you, Traveler. Now, Kronos says cutting down on sodium isn't a bad idea. It is not. The Traveler takes all his trash to the desert and just dumps it there. He got some holes in the desert. Dear Bob, isn't there a red rocket in South Park? There probably is. Dear Bob, if the printer is no longer printing after cleaning the cartridge holders, even with a scanner, is it still worth keeping, or should I toss it? Probably not. I'd probably retire that printer. Hi, Bob. Hi. I know it's the bit from For All Mankind, but I didn't actually watch that show over and over. I watched For All Mankind, but I didn't watch the show they watched in the show. Dear Bob, I will shortly be visiting the United States of America for 4 weeks. I'll be entering the country at Chicago O'Hare, and I would like to ask if you're able to give me advice on where to go and what to visit to discover real America, not Hollywood version of America. I'm happy to travel around the country. Kind regards. 4 weeks, huh? I would put a week at least traveling, maybe 2, traveling the Southwest. I would totally hit up Las Vegas, the Grand Canyon, the real Grand Canyon, not the little part of Grand Canyon that's by Las Vegas. Drive down through Arizona, from Flagstaff, go down. If you're driving, if you're going to have a rental car, I hope you do. It's a beautiful drive. It's a difficult drive. It's not easy. I mean, now if you're from like Switzerland, then obviously you're like, yeah, stupid American, we know how to drive. But if you're from some flat country, you know, these are mountains and shit. You know, don't take it lightly. But if you're comfortable driving on, you know, elevation changes of 5 or 10,000 feet, then yeah. And drive down to through Phoenix, and then drive across to San Diego. That would be a good 2 weeks, stopping along the way from Vegas to San Diego through Arizona. Maybe then go up Highway 1 in California, up to LA. And if you're really interested, go up the whole West Coast, I suppose. And I'm going to be honest, the West Coast, and granted it's having a lot of rain lately. Hopefully by then it's fixed up, but it's a lot nicer. It's a lot nicer looking than the East Coast. And even though I'm an East Coast person, I would say the West Coast is where the good pictures are at. The East Coast, it's beautiful in its own way, but I don't know where you're coming from. If you're coming from Europe, the East Coast is more like Europe. Resolute to stay away from the West Coast. Yeah, if you're looking for small town America, you're not going to find it on either coast. Deej, 4 weeks isn't enough time to drive around the country. No, but it's enough to do a good trip. The Travelers, as if somebody like Joseph came to the U.S., I would like to meet him. A Birdo Prey 5 fan, his family. Absolutely. Stanley says, Sean Carter, get a tank of gas, half a pack of cigarettes. It's dark out and we're wearing sunglasses. Hit it. Pop culture curator says, no, Bird, don't send them to the shithole California. It's not safe. Well, They're going into Chicago. They're going into Chicago. I don't think they're all that worried. Stanley, have you seen The Sopranos? That's the East Coast. Well, I mean, by New Jersey it is. Dee says, if it's a female in this post, I could take them for a tractor ride. I highly doubt it's a female, Deej. The Travelers is we had one of the wettest seasons in years. I believe most of the rain has passed it. I hope so. You will be robbed in California. You'll be lucky not to get killed, says pop culture curator. The Adirondack Mountains that head up to Caroga Lake, New York. Resolute says, no, Bird, it used to look good out here, but it's covered in shit and full of communists. Well, don't go to San Francisco. Don't stop in San Francisco. I thought this was a short stream too. I'm going to be ending it soon. There's only a few more Dear Bops. Excuse me. Dear Bop, I'm looking into YouTubing and I think I have everything that I need. So far, I have camera, microphone, computer for editing and streaming, green screen, and something to say. Now I feel a little overdressed, as if it were for YouTube. It seems to clear 10,000 subscribers. God damn it. Dear Bob, Ace Ventura would be disappointed in your lack of guano knowledge. I know what guano is. It's bird or bat poop. Wars have been fought over guano. Dear Bob, Leticus Crane here from the New York Wordle Times Wordle Department. This is your last warning. Please stop doing our puzzles during streams. I mean, if you knew how to actually do Wordle puzzles, that would be fine. But in your case, come on, buddy, give it up. The typical New York Times user gets most of the words on the third try within 3 minutes. Please go back to writing critiques of She-Hulk or something more entertaining. Cheers, Leviticus. Dear Bob, guano is a shit word. Yes, I get it. I get it. I get it. I get it. The Travelers is Bird. As long as you stay in your car and keep moving, then LA is not that bad. Once you stop driving, well. Jedi Bill says, Mama Pray 5 story. Not today, Jedi. Not today. Chrono says, I would like a Mama Pray tale. Yeah, I'm sorry, guys. I'm not up to it. Mama Pray is not up to it. This was supposed to be a short stream, and I am going to cut it here. Guys, thank you all so much for the support, for the well wishes. It means a lot. Thank you guys for the super chats and the donations, obviously. You guys have been very generous. I appreciate it. And yeah, I feel like crap. You guys can hear it in my voice. I'm sure you know. I'm on antibiotics. I've got some somewhat serious stomach GI issues I'm dealing with, and something else that's annoying. I don't really want to get into it. I don't know. This week, we'll see how it goes. We'll see how it goes. I'll let you guys know Wednesday if I'll do Enterprise or if we'll push it off. So thank you all for coming and hanging out. I will try to go to streams and whatnot as I can. And I'll keep you guys updated if something's going on. I wish it was too much Taco Bell, Kronos. Actually, Taco Bell doesn't sound bad, but no, it's not too much Taco Bell. Thank you all. Deej says good night, Bird. I might resub later. Thanks, Deej. Thanks, Deej. So Qapla all, Bird out.